You're listening to The Middle Age Gamers from Dimension X.
Welcome to episode 4 of MAGDX. I am GR Gamer 1981, aka Fat Tony, and this guy over here. This guy over here.
Oh yeah, man! Famously known as Fat Tony.
Fat Tony. That's
Good
right.
Old Fat Tony, dude. I spit on my screen. Thanks a lot.
Hey.
You made me spit on my screen.
I'm sorry. This guy over here is the author of the Video Game Collector's Field Guide and Premium Edition Gauge graphic designer, and the biggest San Francisco Giants fan. San Francisco Giants people, please hook this guy up with a hat. Autograph. Baseball.
Hey, guess what? I'm such a big San Francisco Giants fan. I snuck you into the stadium.
Yes. Thank God it's not the Mets.
Oh hell no.
Thank God.
No, we're at Oracle Park tonight, baby.
That's right. We are hanging out. We just got back from Midwest Gaming Classic, which was awesome. Thank you for the invite. Shout out to Josh and Sheena for the hookup as well.
Mm-hmm.
And was pretty exciting to get a little vacation time. That's why we were kind of late with this episode. We wanted to fully experience the Milwaukee,
Milwaukee.
I always laugh because it's like the Wayne's World with Alice Cooper. And it's like they go backstage and all he's talking about is like what Milwaukee means. And he's like, does this dude know how to party or what? So it was super cool. It was fun to catch up with people I haven't seen in a long time. Got to meet Frank, aka Mr. Wood, from Super RPG Friends, which was awesome. And we'll tell some exciting stories about our fun there while we were there. At least
it was a lot of fun, dude. It was a lot of fun, man.
At least this time our feet weren't hurting.
Yeah, not near as bad as last time.
We planned this out very, very well. So how are you doing? How's the book coming so far?
So the book is, as we know, it's completely done. It's at the publisher, the printer, excuse me. It's in production.
Yes.
So we had a couple like back and forth things of how I wanted to do the slipcase, how I wanted to do the covers. There were a couple of corrections inside the book that I didn't notice that I'm glad they noticed. Just small little things.
Way to go, Jeff. Way to go.
Right, yeah.
Captain Ridiculous.
Yeah. So we got everything done, and then they reached out to us, and the way it works for paying for the books, it's this big astronomical number, but right before they start production, before they start printing, they ask for half of it up front, and then half of it right before they ship. So I have made that first payment. By the way, I'm going to go on a slight tangent on Wells Fargo. Wells Fargo, I bank with them, and I generally don't have a problem with them until they do something stupid that's like anti-consumer, and they could have easily made it easier on us, but they didn't. So what I did to pay Jeff is do like their online bill pay. So I paid him, and then Wells Fargo sent him a check for the amount. Well, it turns out that amount you can't. And so if it's over a certain dollar amount, you can't deposit it in your account without going into a branch. Well, problem is he's in Hawaii, and there's no branch there. Yeah, there's no branch that he can go into. So where does that leave me? I had to cancel the check. Even though he called up customer service and asked them if they could waive it, but they're like, no, sir, you have to go, whatever. They just stuck to their guns instead of just doing it. I'm sure they could have somehow. So I had to cancel the check and then wire it to him, which cost $40. Because I had to go into a branch because it was over a certain dollar amount that I couldn't do it online myself. So I had to go into a branch too and talk to a banker. The one thing that was nice is the banker refunded me the $40 wire fee. So
That's awesome.
but that induced like another week and a half delay that just didn't need to happen. It was stupid.
They just want to ensure you're not a drug dealer. That's all it is.
I guess so. Yeah, they wanted to make sure I wasn't getting scammed or something. I don't know.
Or sending your money to the Bahamas.
Yeah.
Yeah, banks
My
suck,
offshore
man.
account.
Like when I went in to get money out for the convention, I took money out and the guy was like, "How would you want this?" And he thought I was just gonna get like hundreds, and I was like, "Nah, I need 20s." And he's like, "Why do you need 20s?" And I was like, "Because when you go in there, most people are, when you're like negotiating for price for things, it's going to be around that range, like the $20 range. So like I need $20." And he looked at me like I did a sin. So he's counting the money and he's just giving me deep stare like, "You're such a dick. I have to count this money." And I was like, "Dude, I can't help it." I was like, "That's what I gotta have when I go there." So
Yeah, most people are skittish about taking hundreds and fifties. It's just risky, and no like vendor at a convention is going to have one of those like special pens, let alone know how to use it.
correct.
You know?
So it's like it's all like the first convention we went to, it taught me a lot about the next convention because I was like, I have to go to ATM machine, I have to bother with that mess, I just go in there, go enjoy myself, and not have to worry about it, which is
Yeah.
awesome. Freaking nuts, but it was a pain in the ass. You know what, Banks, get your stuff together. Middle age, you make middle aged people mad.
Yeah. Yeah.
But hopefully, when's the possible ETA? Do you think it's going to be done in production?
It's looking like end of June. So that's what I'm thinking. So I'm hoping I have them by the end of June, mid June, end of June.
Right around the 4th of July. Look at that, America.
Yeah, but I mean, it all depends on because like even after they're printed, then you're at the mercy of like freight shipping. It's going to go on a freighter,
Yeah.
and this is coming from overseas, so it's not like it's predictable or anything like that. But yeah, we're just going as fast as we can.
So you're looking at probably summer, which is awesome. I'm pretty excited to check it out
Mm-hmm.
and see the final product for you. And I'm really
Yeah,
excited
I
for it to get
can't
out
wait,
there.
man. It's gonna be insane.
I hope they sell a million of them,
Yeah.
bazillions.
Oh yes.
Please support them. You can find them on Collectors Field Guide on Facebook, and also check out his Kickstarter. He also has books on Premium Edition games, so you want to check out that site as well too. So please support this man. This man is very, very hardworking and dedicated to what he does.
Thank you.
All right, this week we're gonna talk about our our fun trip to MGC. We'll have a con question in there as well. We're gonna do some of our pickups from the con, but we also have some other pickups as well. We're gonna talk about the new Deadpool Wolverine trailer that came out today, which was awesome. And we're gonna hijack some stuff from Mr. Riggs and give you guys some game suggestions for certain platforms that we'll go into once we go in there. So, as usual, how was your MGC trip, sir?
This was the first convention that I went to in quite some time that I was actually able to enjoy myself. Because even last MGC, whenever we went, I was mostly like behind the booth and doing that whole thing, and like helping out Premium Edition. But I went to this convention, basically on my own, not really to support Premium Edition, even though we did like a lot.
Yeah,
We helped Josh and Sheena set up for what it took like 6 hours that first day, and then we were just like,
it was 6 and 6 both days, I think.
yeah, so it took a long time to set up and tear down. But during the convention, I just came and went as I pleased and didn't worry about it. That was really nice to be able to do that and actually enjoy myself and look for things, even though I really wasn't looking for any games at a game convention, which is odd.
Well,
I was looking for indie title. I mean, like homebrew titles, and I found plenty of them. So,
and like cool arts and crafts and stuff like that.
Yeah, for sure. Ah, dang it! That reminds me, I forgot one on the shelf. The most interesting one that I picked up. Yeah.
Mine are on the wall. I can't even pull them down, so it's like it is what it is. This is my second one. I will say this has probably been this is my top one. And I was joking with you while we were there. It was like top one top. And I had been working by myself at work. I don't have a second person to take off, so it was great to work out a way to make it work to go. The drive up there with all the yacht rock music was excellent. It was great atmosphere. Gigs in the room, and then also seeing our secret group of fellas. I don't want to give up the name, but seeing them, and also it felt like a high school reunion.
Oh, it did. It totally did, man.
Of middle-aged people.
Yeah.
And then one of the pickups that I'll talk about, which was also the most epic thing of the whole weekend, which I can't believe it happened. Still can't believe it happened, but pretty awesome. It was cool to see how Josh and Sheena and Premium Edition Games build their booths, because a lot of people at cons don't get to see the actual vendors that actually work there. So it's interesting to talk to them, and it was really funny because they thought I was a vendor because I had a vendor pass. So they were like, "Hey, how are your sales last night? How'd you guys do?" And I had to I'm like, "Oh yeah, we had a lot of good sales, blah blah." But like. It was interesting to talk to the vendors. One thing I did see that I didn't like was, remember the guy I got the Power Blade from, the Power Blade 2?
Yeah.
So I got that thing for like $400 from him, and his prices were like super reasonable last year. This year, they were like 3 times the eBay price on everything.
Nice.
And I was like, what the hell? Like, I didn't say anything to him. But he was like being rude to people. Like, people were asking for like deals, and he's like, "Nah, I know what I have."
Was that the same guy with the SNES sign that I was talking to? It was, yeah, the same guy. Okay.
Yeah, so those dudes were like, they had fair prices last year, but this year they were just like, "We're off to the races now," and like you didn't see a lot of them buying things from them either.
No, yeah. The expensive stuff that they had the first day, it was there at the end of the second day. Like, it didn't move because it was just astronomical.
I went to look at the books, those books I like, how to beat Super Nintendo games.
Yeah, I saw there was a stack of them there.
He had a stack, and I'm like, oh, he's got maybe $1 or $2 and stuff like that. He was like, oh, those are $15 a piece, and I was like, I'm gonna put those down.
Yeah, ridiculous.
Because I can go to Ben's and get them for $1. Like, why would I?
Yeah, I know, it's something reasonable, and eventually they'll cycle through.
Correct. It's just, I don't know. It's just Nintendo Powers, by the way, at that con. Holy crap! Like $15 a magazine? Are you insane? Are you gonna
dude, for like nothing special too?
Here's the crazy thing: I'm paying full retail for a magazine that was from the '90s, and that's like full retail. Like, that's nuts. I was looking mostly for Japanese games because I have the Polymega now, so it's great that I can kind of open Pandora's box now. But like, I was just looking for. I thought I was just looking for fillers, like random fillers. He tried to make me buy a glow in the dark analog pocket that I kept looking at all weekend.
Yeah, and you read it, don't you? I was a bad influence. I was trying to be a bad influence.
What was funny when I was telling him, I said I felt like I had that Dreamweaver song in my head, like Dreamweaver.
Every time you saw it.
Every time I saw it.
Yeah.
And I literally bought tons of stuff from that guy. That guy was like hilarious. I bought the Dungeons and Dragons. I bought your Afude or KJ Afude. Igarashi. The best thing.
Oh
ever.
yeah.
The worst box on a box, which I framed it already. It's on the wall for you. So when you come down here, you'll see it every time.
Stupidest box art in the history of box art.
I love it. It's the best troll ever.
It's so dumb.
And the story behind it was, I guess it was a GameStop employee, and he didn't have any games, so the only box he had there at the time was that one. So he was trying to get him to sign it. And when I talked to the guy, me and him were laughing about it. He's like, I didn't think this thing was going to sell. He's like, it's the worst box art ever. So he worked me out a bro deal for $75, and I picked it up. I was like, screw it.
Nice.
So, questions from the con. So what was your favorite portion of the con?
I love. I mean, like it expands more and more year after year. And there's tons of vendors. There's tons of variety. So I think that's my number one. I think there's too many like artists on that artist row. I understand there's always an artist row,
Yeah,
but I think there were too many people that were in there that I can't imagine why anyone would buy anything from them, because it was just like I can't really give an example, and I don't want to bag on anybody, but I don't understand why some of these vendors waste their time buying a convention booth to just sit there and not sell anything, because some people had products that I again can't imagine people would even spend any money on, especially
I
since there's
agree.
like tons of stuff to spend your money on.
I definitely agree. The thing that I didn't like much of was that literally every person there and I'm sorry, no offense to the age group of Pokemon era, but literally only 3 things people were walking around trying to get:
Yeah.
Pokemon, N64, and GameCube. That's all I saw, and all every time I walked down an aisle, that's all I was hearing the all time. "Oh my god, this guy's got this GameCube game over here. This guy's got an N64 game over here," and I understand, I'm Nintendo, I'm old, but, like, to see, like, the craziness that was going on, it was just wild. It was very, very wild to me that's where everyone's mindset was, and then I was hearing vendors were buying other GameCube people's stuff so they could flip it to their vendors too, so I was seeing
Mm-hmm.
that go on while we were there too,
Yeah.
and I I feel like there's some interesting things there that you can get that you never see, like Famicom and, Famicom Disk System games and just random stuff that you never see in stores that you had the
Yeah.
opportunity to get, but everyone's like, "I want GameCube." And I just think it's funny. It's like now they're starting to make me feel like I don't even want to be a part of GameCube anymore. Like I'm like, you know what? I don't even want to touch that no more. It's starting to becoming like an N64 issue again. So I'm like, I don't like it.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, just because like everyone's after it. So no, I get that. Yeah, I guess I have a couple gripes with conventions in general, and I'm gonna stick up for the little guy because, like, as vendors, we're able to come and go as we please, and like vendors sell stuff before the show even opens, and I think that's kind of crappy, honestly. I've always thought that was pretty crappy. How are you going to police it though? It's always going to happen. But I just think it's so shitty that like even these like people that pay extra to like get in an hour extra, it means nothing.
Yeah,
It means absolutely nothing.
because the vendors already grab everything up before you even come in there and get it.
Yeah, it's gone.
I went to get a Ninja Gaiden for the PC Engine, and I got rumor mill the guy that I bought the Die Hard from.
Hmm.
He had it. And literally, I walked over there, and he's like, "Yeah, this vendor Ryan took all my PC Engine games, my really expensive PC Engine games." And I was like, "Damn it!"
Oh, that would have been nice.
And
Yeah,
that would have been great, but like, I can't compete with them because like they all know each other. They're all working to get a profit. I get it.
yeah,
Sucks, but what I love about it is that uh, I don't have to worry about that too much because I have every game I really want. So like, I'm just
yeah.
basically getting
Same
fillers.
here. Yeah, I'm not really worrying about that anymore, like I was back in say like 2018, whenever I was still in the full swing of things. Because back then I didn't really have I didn't have a vendor hookup, so and I wasn't like like some of our friends who are just shameless in getting vendor badges. um
Oh my god.
yeah.
I have no hate on them, but watching them run around like madmen like really stressed me out.
Yeah, dude, like
I feel bad, but I'm out of
yeah,
the hunt now. I'm too old to hunt now, and just to watch them act like if they don't get it now, they're not going to get it anytime soon. It's just chaotic.
yeah, I'm not gonna bag on the hustle. They're doing their
They're the
thing.
hustle, man. He got.
Yeah,
I saw one
I
hustle
respect
that
it.
someone got for a Contra 4 CIB for freaking stuff for instruction guide for 250. That's
Yeah,
nuts.
that's nuts.
Nuts.
Yeah, like, hey, good on you.
Good
But
on you.
I'm not
Well
about that
played.
life anymore.
It was fun to be an outside perspective watching things go on.
Hmm.
Like, I had to worry too much. I just kinda can dig around and kinda look and not, like, not like go crazy and stuff. It's just like I didn't even really. I think honestly, the first day I didn't really spend much at all. I just kind of like took it in, and then also I try to help out a lot of people that we have with our group too. Like they're trying to find stuff and things. So I thought it was pretty cool. So
okay, so wait, I got one
Yeah.
more gripe, and you're going to help me with this one. I don't understand, and it's been the last couple of conventions that I've gone to, and I don't know if this is now a prerequisite. Like, can you not have a game convention without a wrestling ring? What is up with that?
because I hate to say it, wrestling and video games are like connected together. Like dude, I played
I don't get it, man.
SmackDown.
You're going to have to explain this to me.
Okay, so pro wrestling to me now, especially like with the indie circuits, they do a lot of joking now. So you know how we are as gamers, we like to be big trolls all the time. So now these indie wrestlers are big trolls too, so they do all these funny things. The videos I send to Zach all the time and you, like all these funny things that go on, like
Yeah.
the one where the dude was which is my favorite, where the dude rocked him to sleep and he like put a blanket on him and stuff. Like that's just fun stuff. So I think
It
it's
is.
like, and there's a lot of pro wrestling fans that are big video game collectors too. And the same thing like with toy figures. I think all pop culture stuff around that time. What were we into when we were kids? Freaking Raw and
Yeah.
WCW, the Monday Night Wars, ECW, freaking video games and nerd
Yeah.
stuff.
So that's actually one thing I hadn't considered that is pretty obvious now that I think on it. The Venn diagram of the video game collectors and wrestling fans probably overlaps a lot.
A lot.
So, yeah. Yeah,
So what we're
that
trying
makes
to
sense.
say is, so we're all trying to say is we're all virgins, okay? We're just all virgins. We like soap operas.
We like men in tights
Mm.
and little cute boots
And
prancing around
I'll
shirtless.
tell you a funny story. This is legit. This is no joke. Before WrestleMania was out, like the one with Rock and Stone Cold at WrestleMania 15,
Uh-huh.
my biology class, it was half and half. Half the people were in Rock gear and half the people were in Stone Cold gear. Even my teacher had a Stone Cold shirt. And he was like, I wonder who's winning this weekend. And he even did like suck it things at us and stuff, like just like silly stuff. Everyone was into it. You know what I mean? So like,
I gotta say, like, I don't remember seeing a whole lot of people in my high school in wrestling gear whenever I was into it, but I definitely had rocked an Austin 316 shirt at one point.
I had
That was in my rotation.
I'll say it right now. I was 100% in love with Stone Cold Steve Austin. Man crush to the point. Like I'm going to be that guy when I grow up. I'm going to kick my boss right in the chest and dump beer in his face. Like that's the American dream. What's the best thing? Think about it. What's the most important thing you've ever wanted to do in your life when you worked in a job? You always wanted to kick your boss right in the ass, and he let us live through him. It's freaking awesome.
Man, if I could have tagged in Stone Cold whenever Pool Night was in charge, holy crap.
No comment on that one.
Worst.
No comment on that one.
There's no way she's ever watching this, but if she is, you're the worst person I've ever worked for in my entire life.
What, enough to stun her? Like a Stone Cold
She
stunner?
deserved it. I don't advocate for female violence, but I don't know. Maybe I can tag in like a female wrestler. There
you go.
I'll tag in a female wrestler.
That's right.
But
But I think everyone's trying to expand their cons. Well, think about your Lester. He has like the biggest con right now. He had all these people that were from the community that were video game voices, wrestling, claw machines, all kinds of stuff. And I think like they're trying to make it like a big extravaganza. I feel like I was joking. Like soon it'll be like a festival, like a full-on festival that you go to.
Yeah.
And it's so popular right now. Think about all the things going on in the world, all the crappiness, all the wildness, and you can go to this con and just kind of enjoy being around people that you guys, You guys,
You're
want
right.
to
It's an absolute escape. I mean, it was for both of us. Like MGC could not have come at a better time I know for you and
Oh my
definitely for
God.
me, because like I mean the couple of weeks prior to it, and woe is me. Like I don't have a traditional job or anything like that, and I'm working as a graphic designer full time. But I mean, like I'm dealing with anxiety and depression issues, and always have. But I got my anxiety under control. But then, like the previous 2 weeks leading up to the convention, like there were days I didn't want to get out of bed. Like I was so depressed. So it came at a really good time. It got me out of that funk, and it was awesome to see everybody.
Yeah, I had a ball, and even all the funny shenanigans, like at the pretzel thing, like we went to the
Oh my
bar with
god,
that.
dude.
Uh,
Oh yeah, but freaking okay. So are you familiar with you were in Germany for a while?
100%.
Dan's story actually like made me wise to this, and I remembered. Do you know who Flula Borg is?
He sounds familiar.
So he was on I think Pitch Perfect. He's that like flamboyant German guy.
Okay, yeah.
That he's kind of a comedian. But anyway, he was on Conan one time and he was talking about a Volksmarch.
Yep.
Like you have like your walking stick over in Germany, and then like you
Yep.
do these hikes, and then you get these little badges to put on your walking stick so that it proves that you did the march.
Yeah.
And apparently that's a thing like everywhere. um but he satirized it pretty well. But freaking Geske, like whenever we were going to this pretzel thing, it wasn't even that far from our hotel, but holy hell did he like lead us on a Volksmarch.
We were
Like,
on an adventure.
dude, and like this was six. Was it the same day that we set up like all that stuff, or
Yeah,
was that
we did the setup, we did a little bit of shopping, and then we went to go get something to eat.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, like we were just our bodies were like wrecked at that point. Mine was. I was
Well,
feeling it.
we drove all the way there. We set up, and then we looked for a little bit, and then we went to dinner.
Yeah, so I was like not in a mood to do a freaking a Boy Scout 50-mile hike, but there I was, getting a merit badge against my will.
Get
Thanks, Geske. You
get your feet
damn
fed.
terrible sense of directions.
And then
Felt like a lemming.
Then all the Courtney jokes about the Courtney Wiener that was next door.
But yeah, that pub was freaking awesome. That Broughton and Pretzel Pub.
Yeah, I'm all in on pretzel stuff. I thought it was like a silly like fad,
That
but
was so good,
bunch of
man.
stuff.
Holy
I mean,
crap.
they picked a good spot. And then learning about pull tabs and watching that poor lady waitress get annoyed with all of us. She had the
There are
patience
so
of a saint.
many. No offense, guys, but there are so many in our group that are just not self-aware when it comes to like these people are waiting on you. Like of course they're going to be annoyed if you're like taking your time like ordering your food, or just dang, man, come
It was so
on.
funny. It was so chaotic.
Yeah, it was very
And
chaotic.
me and Kirk were laughing, and it was just a really good time. Like they were just really funny. And then we woke up like super early on Saturday to be there at 7:30. And then
Wait, you skipped a thing. There was a certain arcade game at the bar.
oh yeah, the my evil punch, my 6
Yeah, you're freaking evil Akuma punch.
I was gonna rail that thing, and then they said no, you got to hit it lightly, and you have to hit it like a certain. I'm like, oh okay. And then so I was trying to get kind of in the middle, and I got like 666. Everyone was like laughing about it, like, oh my god, it's an evil punch.
Yeah, so
Like,
if someone hasn't seen this, it's like it's a punching bag. You put in your money, the punching bag comes down, and then you hit it. Ideally, like to win the prizes, you have to hit it. A certain number. Like your punch is measured by 0 to 1,000.
yep.
According to how hard you hit, that's the number that comes up on there. Well, he hit the bag and it came up as 666. So, freaking evil Ryu punch.
It was so funny. It was like Kuma punch. That's why I was calling
Yeah.
it Kuma punch. But it was also fun being in a room with Kirkley. God, he is absolutely fantastic. He makes me laugh
Yeah, that dude is
every time we talk to him.
hilarious.
He is
Yeah.
hilarious and really good vibes, and he was super fun to be in a room with. We were just
Oh,
giggling.
he's always been a good guy.
By the way, Kirkley, I am the person that put all those wrestling cards in your bag. Albara kind of got in and on the fun, but
I think I put a
90%
couple
was me.
baseball cards in there, didn't I? I'm pretty sure I
Yeah.
did.
He
Yeah.
got mad about the Crystallis, which I thought was hilarious. Which I know that one was you.
We
I
just
took
wanted we just wanted to put some treats in there for you.
we put all the ladies of WWE in there in these cards, and we were what happened was he was down about to leave, and he left his suitcase in our room, and so we were just like putting them in all these different random spots. So Kirkley, it was me. I did it.
We do
I
it
was
again too.
bored. I was bored. I was having too much fun in the room. It was fun
Yeah.
tearing open cards. But so, question for you: what is one thing you think you should keep at a con, and one thing you should take away from a con?
One thing you should keep at a con. I'm going to go in reverse order. The one thing that I think you should take away at a con is selling cards. There was way too much of that.
There was a lot
Way
of
too much.
Pokemon
There was
right now.
Pokemon and Magic and like everything, dude. There were so many vendors taking up so much space with cards. I don't give a crap about cards. I don't give a crap about them.
Divorce wives.
Well,
Divorce dads.
if that guy was there, I'd like, I'd love that.
That'd be hilarious.
Like,
Divorce dads.
oh my gosh, he should
So
take that
funny.
show on the road, man.
God damn. His new one with the magic cards is fucking hilarious. Holy shit.
His delivery is so good. So, hey, do you know his Instagram? Like, just in case anyone wants to look it up. Okay.
If you look up divorced or what is it? Damn, is it Divorce Dad's cards. Like if you look up that like on Instagram, you should be able to find them. It's hilarious.
Oh, it's so funny, man.
And he sells it so well.
Yes.
So what's
like
one
opening
thing
up packs? Something you keep. I enjoy, and I don't know if this happened during this convention, but it's something I enjoy going to. And if it didn't happen at this convention, I wish they would bring it back. It's the live auction at the end of the day that has like all the crazy stuff.
Yeah.
I don't remember that happening. I think Game On Expo did do it.
Yeah,
but
Game
MGC
On
didn't.
I don't think so.
I don't think MGC did.
No, not at all. They're fun.
Oh, I got one more thing. I want them to keep and expand on the cool side exhibits, like the World of Nintendo stuff.
Yeah,
stuff that you will never see in your life. Like I like I know that John Hardy and his crew used to like go around to conventions with their museum to show off stuff that people would never see before. But that's one thing that I think is underappreciated and underrepresented. Because people are going to these game conventions to see or to like pick up, like you said, Pokemon, N64, and GameCube. A lot of them just aren't like versed in how much there is in video game history and like how many consoles are out there. Buy my book. Yeah. But whenever I get to see something I've never seen before, I'm super excited. And I'm excited by like those exhibits that people take on the road with stuff people will never see in their life unless they go to these conventions or a museum.
The funnest portion of it was going to the World Nintendo thing and playing Ninja Turtles on the Game Boy thing. Like that brought back so many damn memories. It's ridiculous.
Well, it was awesome too. Like I struck up a conversation with the guy. I wish I could remember the name of his off the top of my head, but he wrote the World of Nintendo book. I backed him on Kickstarter. And he apparently like that setup that he had in that room was only 1992.
Yeah, he does by year.
So he has it curated by year.
It's nuts. I don't know how he affords it. I don't like seeing the kiosk groups $1,000 for everything.
Yeah, and those freaking fibers and oh my gosh, man.
those fibers are pretty.
Just unobtainium at this point.
Yeah, it's just like, what I get mad about is that you did not get those for $10,000. So I don't know why you're trying
I
to sell it for
know.
that price. It's
Yeah.
ridiculous.
Well, it's like I have like a crisis of conscience when it comes to that too, because if I ever sell that Funko Land sign, I bought that for $125, that Funko Land neon, but I know that's like a $5,000 sign
Yeah.
now. But I would feel some sort of way trying to maximize my profits on selling that, especially to someone that's a collector. I would probably give them a bro deal.
Yeah. 100%.
Mm-hmm.
The things I would like to get rid of, and I know I'm going to get a lot of heat for this, and no offense to it, I hate the cosplay. I really do. Sometimes you don't even know what they're cosplaying, and it's absolutely confusing. And I don't know, like, if they, no offense to it, I know people like that, but no offense to it, there's a lot of let's just say people dressing up to get attention. That's basically what it is. And I don't, I'm not big on people doing that. It's like, hey, look at me. Like, okay, cool. I can't say that like I did wear SpongeBob pink outfit, but that was only for make sure someone can find where the hell I was.
There was one kid that so my take on that is I generally don't have a problem with cosplay. Yeah, as long as it's like thematic. Like if it's video game themed, because this is a video game convention, cool.
Yep.
But if you just want to have an excuse to dress up in your furry costume, there are conventions for that too.
Yeah.
There was one kid during the convention that I almost like called out because it was like borderline stolen valor. I mean, he was
Yeah.
almost in
Yeah.
uniform. You remember seeing that kid?
Yep. I
Like
did
that
too. Yes, you
bothers
were
the
talking-
fuck
Yeah. Yeah. I
because he was
agree
doing
with
it
that.
for attention.
Correct.
Yeah.
And it's not good business either, especially when people like sacrifice their lives for that stuff. It's not good. The thing I do want to keep, and it's one thing that's like that's not appreciated, especially with Shayna and Josh and all them, bringing like stuff from like Japan or like different overseas things like Brazil and things like that, things I will never see. UK.
Weird
Like,
stuff, dude.
I saw like UK Master System games, which was like, wow, whoa, cool. I've never seen these before.
Mm-hmm.
Like stuff that I don't get to see. Like, like I bought Contra, and Contra is one on our version is completely different than Konami's version for Famicom. The trees actually move. It has a map system. It has a cool little setup to it. There's like little niches and things that are completely different. And I just wish there'd be more vendors like that from Japan that like come here so I could see like the different types of games and stuff like that. The one vendor that was right behind Shayna and them, the one that I picked up the Street Fighter
Yeah.
one from, like cool stuff they had. They had like all this cool Japanese stuff. So it was like cool to go around. But the problem was he had a lot of Sega Saturn, and of course, everyone swarmed that to death looking for like the rarity games. And I was like,
Mhm.
I don't want to be around that. I'm not big on crowds, so I was like, I'm gonna stay away from that. Let them go do their business. But those are the two.
Yeah, and to kind of piggyback on that, bringing stuff that's like worthy of like things that would be like sought after by gamers, instead of bringing tub after tub after tub of like 50-cent 360 games just to have like bulk on your table. I don't understand that. And there's so much of that goes on at conventions. Like I just think to myself, like, why did you bother bringing that? Like, it's not going to sell. You're going to take it right back home.
It
I don't
caused
know
a
why
lot
you
of
have it in the
traffic
first
problems
place.
too, because they sit in there on the floor and they're just digging through them like they're gonna find some kind of gold in there, and like they waste a bunch of time. You can't even like look in there, and like what's awkward is that like it's in front of you.
Oh, look,
Also,
Madden 15. Huh.
one last thing I'm gonna say a note to somebody. Uh, I was looking for a chainsaw controller for RE4,
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
and every person was telling me, "Hey, it's over there." And this guy, everything he had on his counter was literally acting like it was like a treasure. He said, "Well, this is sealed," and I was like, this thing's not sealed at all. So you can't say it's sealed when it doesn't have like a sticker or a latch or anything on it. So it's not a sealed item. And he had it for like $1K. I was like, you can kick rocks with that. And that's also, if you're going to act like it's fucking eBay, then fucking do your shit on eBay. Don't come to a convention and you don't want to negotiate deals. Because I was trying to negotiate for something over there and he wasn't having it at all. He was like, no, I'm not doing that.
Yeah, that was just that guy and his attitude. I've seen him at other conventions too.
Just kind of a pain in the ass. So
yeah,
I know what you video game lovers love, those sweet pickups. So I thought we would do some of our MGCs and some of the things we picked up over the past couple of days or weeks or months. We haven't done this in a while, so
yeah. Let's trade back and forth. We got a lot of pickups, and let's start with this past weekend, huh?
Yeah, where is that one? Gotta find that. Where did I put it? It's over here somewhere. I got a pile over here. Try to keep it away. There we go. I found it. It's on the bottom. Oh, and there goes my stuff. All right, sorry about that. Since Claire loves me, you know what I mean? She loves me.
Wait, she loves me too.
Oh my God. Are we in love with Claire Redfield?
I think we're in a love triangle.
So, our Imaginarium here was celebrating their 15th anniversary, and they brought the voice actor that plays Claire in RE2 and Code Veronica. She also does Jubilee, and she also does the cartoon Beetlejuice, the girl on there. I always mess up it. Lydia, there you go. So she came in, and I got this signed and my RE2 signed. What she said, I love you more than a bar on it. I'm just letting you know. She just put that on there. So,
do you have that one to show off?
It's in my room. I put it next to my bed. So when I turn over at night, I can put my hand and caress it. Like she loves me. So do you want to go first, sir, or do you want me to go first?
No, go ahead, man.
Okay, so we'll start off with one of your favorites. I was digging around the convention and I was looking for this, and I worked out a deal for $100. And it's one of your other favorite Castlevania games, Castlevania Legacy of Darkness. I've been looking at this forever. I just wanted the box. I have all the other ones CAB, so I don't have instructions for this, but to find the box is a pain in the butt. This is what we call DLC for Castlevania back in the day.
Yeah, that's right.
They made this. They were actually making 4 characters, and they decided to make 2 different games with 2 different characters. So good times. You love this.
An example of a game that doesn't need to exist on a system that doesn't need to exist. Sorry.
Hi, Avara. Why don't you love me?
Just kidding. I like the 64, like 3 of the games.
You know what makes me mad about this is the box looks cooler than the game. That's what kind of irritates me.
Yeah.
I love it, but yeah, that's my first one. What did you get, sir?
So I'm going to start with something I got today in the mail. You'll probably recognize this box.
Oh, Castle Crashers.
Yeah, I got my Castle Crashers today. Got my Castle Crashers in the mail today.
You got a better box than mine. My box, I didn't get a cool box like that. I got a regular box. Yeah, I got a regular box. That's all I got.
Oh, I don't plan on keeping this if you want it.
I will take it.
All right.
I love that game. God dang, it's so good. I was like, damn. What you got? This one was pretty cool when we went there, and I have to give a shout out to them. It's a place called the Retro Room. I'm a type 1 diabetic, and when we were walking around, we thought that it was pretty cool that someone made a type 1 game for kids. It's a Game Boy game. He's even got his family on it and stuff. And it's called Diabetor and the Sugar Monsters. And so he made a game based on that to help kids out with their type 1 diabetes. We got it signed. Really cool. If you want a copy, you want to check them out. Retro Room. I have not played this yet, but I will be playing this tomorrow, possibly at my lunch break. So pretty excited to check it out. But really, really cool. He was really, really nice guy. Very awesome to talk to. Really, really cool.
Well, yeah, and like I saw it, and I obviously knew that it was about diabetes or whatever. So I didn't know the guy selling it had it, but should have made an assumption there. But I was like, "Hey, Coffin, it's your game," and they struck up a conversation. The guy was so nice; he actually wanted to give Eric a free copy, but we wanted to support his cause. So
yeah.
Yeah, and he gave us a free book though. That was nice of him.
Yep, Melissa's got upstairs and she's reading it, which she loves books, so pretty freaking cool. All right, your turn, sir.
Oh yeah. So in the arcade room, we didn't really know that there were any vendors in there, but there were some vendors in the arcade room
which
with
was
some
wild.
random stuff. Yeah. And so like every single year, and I don't know what year they started doing this, but Midwest Gaming Classic has like exclusive games that they give away to the very important gamers who buy the like special badge. And this apparently was from a couple years ago, but it was sitting on one of the tables, MGC Arcade Pack. It's got 4 games on it. But the guy saw me looking at it. He's like, "Hey, $5 and it's yours." I'm like, no brainer. Here you go.
100%. He was trying to sell to you quickly too. He's like, "Take it, just take
$5. Here, take my $5.
It was he has a, by the way, what he doesn't tell you, he has one of the coolest homebrew collections ever.
Yeah, I've got a lot of homebrews, and that's what I was after for most of the convention, just like looking for cool homebrews and stuff.
So I'm gonna do a little Famicom and Famicom Disk System one together. So I'm just gonna show off what I got. So I got Contra at the MGC, which I've been looking for. I paid $50 for it. I think I paid $45. I think I tried to go to $45, but yeah, I just wanted a copy of it. I thought it was pretty cool. Mad City, I got this in the mail from that Famicom Disk System guy. The same guy bought these other games from. He had it, and he wrote me, said, "Hey, I have it. You want it?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'll take it." And so, what's funny about this, just so you know, if you want the easy mode for Bayou Billy, this is it. 2 kicks and they die. Yes, legit. I will play this more than I'll play the original. I'll tell you that 100%.
Jeez.
Let's see if Amara can get this one, because I always ruin the name of this. Let's see if you know what this one is.
That is something Castle. But it's it's a really good game. Damn, I don't remember off the top of my head.
It's made off it's made off the actual Zelda, the Legend of Zelda, the original engine. And I wanted a copy of this, and he had it for like $20 on his site. This guy's awesome on eBay. I love shopping on the site because he has a bunch of Famicom games, and he doesn't do them like really expensive, and he's really, really nice. He even sent me new cases that broke because when he sent them, they got cracked.
Yeah.
And another Famicom Disk System game that I didn't even know existed, Gunsmoke. So if you've never seen these before, these are what's called Famicom Disk System. These are like 3.5 floppies with Nintendo, but they found a way around this Nintendo thing. But what sucks about these is that any game can be put on here because you could rewrite them at a little thing at a store. So you could be getting Gunsmoke and then turn around and you're getting volleyball. I've got a lot of volleyball. Yeah.
Oh, it's the Mysterious Murasame Castle.
Yep. It's awesome. Super fun.
Mm-hmm.
What's your next one, sir?
Oh, yeah. So going with more of the homebrews, I have a saved search on eBay for NES homebrews, and these always pop up from time to time because there were a lot of homebrews that were like offered to the Nintendo Age group whenever they were a thing. But I picked up a couple of them that I almost pulled the trigger on eBay a few times, and having it right there in front of me, I just bought them. So I got Pizza Pop.
Yes, that one's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Great homebrew.
Fun game.
I like those hacks and homebrews. It's fun to to try someone's other creation. Like, by the way, I didn't get to tell you this either. On SD, I found a guy that makes a bunch of Resident Evil homebrews and things on there, and I'm trying to stop myself from buying them all.
Oh boy.
So they're freaking sucks. But another Japanese games I got while I was there. Shout outs to Cordy for not taking this because I immediately swapped in and got it. He didn't want it because it didn't have the spine card on it. This is Dungeons and Dragons, and you need like the specific Capcom RAM card to play this. But on the Polymega, I don't need it, so I can actually just play it.
And those beat 'em ups are so good, man.
It's a really cool idea, an RPG that's a beat 'em up. The only thing I don't like is that it cuts into the action a little too much.
Oh yeah, the dialogue and like choosing your path and
which is cool. I mean, it gives you more gameplay, but the problem is like I wish it just lets me go through the entire level first and then does it. But I mean, I think it's a cool collection. I paid I think $100 for this. I wish it was $69.99. But one is Tower of Doom, and the other is Shadow over Mysteria. I think it is.
And both were actually arcade games in the U.S. Tilt at Westroads Mall, whenever that was the thing, actually had one of those games. I used to play all the time.
What's interesting that I thought about this too is how can they use the license in Dungeons and Dragons? Like, did they give them the license? Because they put them on the belt collection too.
Yeah. So no, someone owns it and they had to pay for it. There's no way they could have just done it. All right. Next up is another one that I picked up, another Nintendo Age one, and this is Twin Bee, and there were only 50 of these made. I have number 45 out of 50.
Have you played it yet?
Nope, not yet.
That
but, I love my shmups.
Shooters. That shmup is fun. I love hitting the bells, and all that fun stuff. So that's freaking awesome. I love that. That's like one of my favorite shooters. I'm not a big shooter fan, but I finally found it, and thank God you were looking at an item for a really long time, a homebrew for a really long time, because I had a chance to dig through this, and I would have missed this, but I found it in a corner, and I was so excited because I don't know why this is a damn unicorn, but Zombie Revenge. I finally found this damn Dreamcast game.
Nice.
And boy, did I play this all last night. I played the crap out of this thing.
I don't think I've ever played that game.
You never played it?
No.
So imagine House of the Dead.
Okay.
Right? It is part of House of the Dead. It's kind of like a beat 'em up, and it's like Dynamite Cop. So Dynamite Cop and House of the Dead together.
Interesting.
And over the top cheesy. It's got those fake still, like the between chapter things, and it's off the top weird. You have like an arcade mode and original mode on it, but man, I was having so much fun with it last night. I love cheesy, stupid games that make no sense. So I wish Sega. By the way, I was like this. Why haven't there not been someone that makes like a Dynamite Cop type of game right now? Because man, with all the beat 'em ups like having like a resurgence, I would love to see someone make one of those cheesy, horrible games where you can
beat
someone up with a gigantic piece of meat. Freaking sick.
Next up is gosh, I should remember the developer because I talked to him for a while. Oh yeah, there it is, Retrotainment. They bailed me out. It's on the box. Full Quiet, and this is the special edition. I guess it's a silver cart inside. I don't really know what the game is about. I'm gonna have to look it up, but I'm actually really looking forward to playing this one because I know their stuff, Retrotainment, is really well made.
I think it's like a survival horror kind of puzzle game. Yeah. I don't know yet, but they said like you need like the instructions. It's kind of like Metal Gear. Like you need the instructions to kind of play it, and so that's what he was telling me because I wanted his Glow in the Dark one so bad.
Oh, I know, yeah, and he was out of those. It sucked. Like I can't believe that's not the special edition, Well,
it's funny because the Gunter guy, the guy who made Gunter, he snuck over and grabbed the last one. I was like,
Yeah.
dang it.
Yep, you did.
This one, it was running out online and Amazon tricked me. So I thought I wouldn't be able to get it. But I got another PSVR 2 game, Star Wars, the Tales from the Galaxy's Edge. Super awesome VR game. I would highly suggest this one if you are a PSVR 2. I know you don't have that many games out there, but really cool experience. Not really experience, but you do all kinds of cool things in the game. I don't want to spoil it for anybody, but it's really fun. I would definitely pick this up if you find it.
Oh, dude, check it out. So I'm looking on Retrotainment Games website. They actually have the CIB glow in the dark one in stock
Okay,
right
I'm gonna
now.
have to go. I'm gonna have to go pick that up.
Yeah, I mean, me too. And then they have they're the same people who made Haunted Halloween.
Which is great. That game's
Yeah.
awesome. I have that too. I have the pumpkin one, I think.
Yeah. Next up, and I think you got a copy of this too, is another homebrew called Copper Jacket.
Did not get that one.
You didn't get this one. Oh.
So
Okay.
when I
You
went
did for some
there,
reason.
when I went there, this is what happened. He had none left on the table, so I thought he sold all of his. And then come to find out later, after it was like later in the thing, they said, "Oh, the guy had a whole bunch more," so I missed it.
Oh, okay. Bummer. Yep.
This one was from you. You can explain this to the fellow audience because I don't know specifically who the guy's name is, but you got me this awesome copy of Dracula X.
Yeah,
And
Nocturne of the Moonlight.
so what's different about the one that you made compared to this one?
So the one that I made was right after the fan translation was done. And that was done by Knight of Dragon. He was the translator. I reached out to him and got his permission to make some reproductions. So it's as official as it can get. My release of it, because I actually got the permission of the person who did the translation localization. So Nocturne in the Moonlight, which is the Saturn version of the Japanese Saturn version of Castlevania Symphony of the Night. It's known for being the inferior version, but also superior, and I'll explain why. It's inferior because the hardware, like the way that it works on Saturn, like some of the transparency effects and like there's slowdown and whatever, that is not present on PlayStation. The PlayStation version runs much better. But the Saturn version, which came out after the PlayStation version, has more content, has more enemies, has more level, like sections to the level. There's actually 4 different levels that are not in the US PlayStation or Japanese PlayStation version. And then there's actually another boss fight too. You fight Maria
That's
in the
awesome.
game. Yeah, which is amazing. Like I had no idea until I was playing it. And I'm like, what? Like I had no idea. So what's different about that version is that is still the English translation of the Japanese Saturn Castlevania Symphony of the Night, which is also known as Nocturne in the Moonlight. But it takes advantage of the 4 megabyte RAM expansion cart that you can have on the Saturn, so that it smooths out all those performance issues. So now it runs smooth at not as smooth as the PlayStation, but it's very noticeable, the upgrade that it's given. And that
Awesome.
was made by Chris Piper, Pipe Dream Games. Yeah, he makes just amazing quality stuff. Like his attention to detail is just awesome. And he did a run of those, so like he doesn't like shipping in the big Saturn cases, and I already have like a bunch of replacements, so I'm just like, hey man, just send me the the manuals, the discs, the inserts, and I'll take care of the rest. So yeah, I'm excited to have that, man.
Yeah, I'm really excited to play it too. I tried to play Mega, but it wouldn't play in there, so I'm going to play it on original hardware, which is okay.
Yeah, I haven't tried it yet, but I certainly am going to. Next up, with Nocturne of the Moonlight in mind, you actually clued me in on this. So the soundtrack, the Saturn soundtrack. So
Did not know that existed when I saw it. When I saw it, I flipped out.
yeah, that's freaking awesome, dude. Like I can't wait. Yeah, because it's actually Gecko no Nocturne or whatever. So this is Nocturne in the Moonlight. It has all the extra music and everything.
Funny story about this game. It's also a funny thing with us is I saw it at Fallout Games in Arizona, and I was like, and I showed it to you, and it was like $50, and you're like, oh, that seems like it's way overpriced. You shouldn't get that. And like, I wish I would have grabbed it because now it's like $200. I was like,
knew?
what the hell is this? I didn't even know it existed. So I'm gonna take you back to, let's see here. Let's go to holidays of 1989. Do you remember what you're doing in the holidays of 1989?
Probably mourning the loss of the Giants losing the World Series that year. I don't know. It was only a couple months prior that happened.
So Ben and them strike again. I cannot believe this was sitting there, and I didn't even know this was actually a thing. So I have Blockbuster Video Magazine Holiday Issue 1989 with our boy Jack Nicholson on the front. But check
Oh
this
my.
out. How about a gift catalog
Oh, that's amazing.
from
Holy crap, what's
1989?
in there?
So let's see here. How
What
much do
sweet
you
fanny
think?
pack can I get?
How much do you think Young Guns was? Or sorry, excuse me, Lethal Weapon. How much do you think Lethal Weapon was back in
Oh, so
1989?
it actually sells movies in that gift catalog? Oh, really? Okay, so I'm gonna say yeah. I was gonna say $30 because I remember VHS as being $30 at launch.
Lethal Weapon is 1995.
Oh, okay.
Dude, you know what's crazy in here? I saw was The Sound of Music. It was like almost $100.
What?
Yeah, it was crazy. I was
I
like,
know
what
that
the hell?
yeah, it's like 2 tapes or something. We had it
But
growing up.
I love these magazines just for the fact that I love Blockbuster, and then plus I can like
I had no
they do
idea
a lot of cool
Blockbuster
stuff.
had a magazine.
I didn't either, but dude, this is my favorite, by the way. Look at this. Weekend at Bernie's.
Nice.
This made me laugh so hard. That's when they were trying to get all the sand out of his hair with the
Yeah.
vacuum. Dude, god dang it. I laughed my ass off when I saw this. I was like, dude, this is the best total read. I wanna look more of these up. Like I wanna find like more of these to
Yeah,
put
that's
in
cool,
here.
especially since like you know your basement is curated like a freaking Blockbuster. That's perfect.
Freaking love it. It's so
Yeah,
funny.
that's awesome. So our friend Christian Dietering was at the show. He was in the Nintendo Age place whenever I saw him. Such a good dude. I love that guy to death. Gives good hugs too. Anyway, he is a huge Earthbound fan, so much so that he made a documentary, which is no small feat. I can't even imagine doing enough research, let alone like the editing for a documentary. That is just insane. So sometime this week, I can't believe I haven't watched it yet. I'm sorry, Christian. I just haven't watched it yet. But I helped. I think it was on Kickstarter. Maybe it was Indiegogo, if I'm mistaken. But I did help him fund it. But this is the Blu-ray of Mother to Earth, which is Earthbound documentary made by Christian Dietering, who is just a stand-up guy and an amazing like font of knowledge when it comes to video game stuff.
He was super nice when I met him. I was glad to finally meet him.
Yeah.
Like when you told me,
He's
I was like,
such a
holy
good
crap.
dude, man. He's such a good dude.
me and him made a great picture pose together when we were doing the
Oh yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
Which is great.
Yeah.
My last two, and one I kept laughing at because you kind of pushed me towards this because I was like, I don't know if I'm going to get this or not. So they had this for store use only, not for resale. The exclusive Making a Resident
Yeah,
Evil
I'm
4.
glad you picked that up too. That's cool
And
as hell.
it's from EB Games, pre GameStop. I do want to watch it. Like I told my wife, I was like, I want to sit down and actually like physically watch it and check it out, see what's
Yeah.
on here and stuff. Because I also have the Wesker DVD I haven't watched yet, so I thought that would be pretty cool. But
Yeah, that's cool as hell, man.
What's interesting about this, I was looking this up. There's no front cover to this.
Yeah.
There's no front cover. They only did a back cover and this in the front. So I'm happy to have this. It's cool that it's a not for resale one, and I hope it's pretty cool. Like I'm really excited to check it out.
Oh, it's got to be cool. I mean, it might just be like full of gameplay and trailers and stuff, but it's cool as hell.
And the story of all stories from our epic weekend at MGC. Well, by the way, so Amaro was wore out from all the fun and festivities, so he decided to take a nap, and I was getting amped to wait for 2 people to show up that were.
Well, let me knock this small thing out, and then we'll go into the big thing.
Yeah, correct.
Okay. So I've got one more small pickup, and that's I was just like scanning this vendor table, and I'm always looking for unusual stuff, and this is unusual to find this. I can't believe someone else didn't buy this, but I didn't pre-order mine at Walmart, so I didn't get a pack of these trading cards, but I've got a sealed pack of Mario Wonder trading cards that I'm not going to open.
You know what you should do? You should put it in your Switch packet because it has an instruction thing to hold it.
Oh
You
yeah,
can throw it in there. You can throw it in there and like not
yeah, that'd be cool.
Protect it. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Display it.
Big story.
So back to the story. So Amara was like, "Hey man," he's like, "I need to recoup," and I was like, "Cool." So I was like, "I'll go hang down here. I gotta wait for this." I was waiting all weekend for it. So before we left, they announced 2 people that were showing up. One of the people didn't show up, and that was the voice actor for Chris Redfield. But there was rumor mills that I guess another individual was showing up. So the voice actor got replaced by another person from the original RE game. And what was so funny about this was I was first in line when they showed up, and this was their first convention ever. So like they're checking out this new experience, what's going on, and things like that. I showed up with my game I brought from home, and to watch their faces light up from seeing it, like to actually like holding their hands and stuff like that was pretty nuts. And I told them my mom, being a horror movie buff like me, we used to watch horror and sci-fi all the time. She went to a game store and she was picking me up Mortal Kombat 3 for PlayStation. And right next to it was this other game, which was Resident Evil, and it was a picture of a guy holding a gun and it had spiders that had a zombie on the back of it and all these things. And so it's one of a few items I have from my mom, the original actual items I had from my mom. And so I want to get it signed. And what was cool was the original actors that played Chris Redfield and Barry Burton were at the convention. And they were so jazzed up by my story. Not only did they sign my copy on the front here, but I actually got a actual patch from a S.T.A.R.S Raccoon City Police Department person. So Barry Burton actually signed this on the back and gave
it doesn't get any more official than that. You got a fucking S.T.A.R.S patch from one of the original S.T.A.R.S members. That's insane.
And like I still can't believe it. Like, and what was so crazy about the whole
I'm
thing
so happy for you, man. Like what a treasure that is. Like that's crazy.
So I will say this about MGC, and I'm gonna also tell you about the thing I didn't really like that much. There was a lady there that was kind of like they were trying to talk to me while they were waiting to start the signing, and so they were just having a conversation with me, and the lady was just being completely rude and like, you can't talk to them, you have to wait until they pay their money. And then they, when we're doing pictures, they were like, only one person could take a picture, not both of them. And I'm like, that's bullshit. Like, and they were actually really cool when they came out. And it's funny because later you saw him when you came back later, and he got you.
Yeah, so Eric and I were walking toward the back of the convention hall or the vendor hall, and we see Barry Burton and Chris Redfield walking toward us with a couple of Ghostbusters. They were going toward Ecto 1. They were going to do like a photo shoot. Yeah, there were Jurassic Park cars. There was the Murphmobile from Wayne's World. There was a Batman,
Knight Rider. Yep.
the Batmobile, and then there was Ecto 1 there. Was that it?
And Knight Rider. Knight Rider's
And
car.
Knight Rider
Yeah.
was there too. So anyway, we see them walking by, and like when I'm like inches away from Barry, those of you who have seen the Resident Evil intro, the like B movie cheesy ass, like, you know, whatever, in my best movie announcer voice, I go, Barry Burton, and he hears me, and he turns to me. He's like, "Yeah, I played the original." I'm like, "I know you did. You're awesome, dude." So he stops and he talks to me, and he's like, you know, really excited and telling me how much fun he's having at this convention, and that he really appreciates like all of the positive attention that those guys are getting. And you know, I told him like you know, how much he means to us. Like, they don't realize, you know, as gamers and like playing these games as a kid, like it really does mean a lot, even though they had such a small part in it. But you know, he's the original Barry Burton, so he's a badass for life to us. And he's like, "Do you want a selfie?" I'm like, "Of course I want a selfie." So I hand over my no, you took pictures with your phone. That's
Yeah.
right. So I got pictures with Barry Burton, and like after the normal pictures, just out of nowhere, he puts me in a headlock, and I can't remember what he said, like a Barry something
He
or
said,
other. And
Barry headlock, and he like
yeah,
grabbed
Barry
you.
headlock, and put me in a headlock, and like lifted up my hat, and like kind of like an uncle or a grandpa would do. And so I got a picture of me in a headlock with Barry Burton, which I will treasure. I love that
Well,
guy.
we also found out while we were there that that Chris Redfield's actually Abara's uncle.
We'll get there. We'll get there. We'll get there.
Well, that'll be a little teaser thing. One more celebrity that I want to talk about, since we were at this convention, we haven't really shared upon it, is our friend Duff. Duff is a beautiful bag that gets carried by Jeff at conventions that has no wheels on it.
Okay, I was so confused
So-
for a second. Duff.
So what happens is that Jeff brings a bunch of trades, and this bag does not have wheels on it. For the love of God, Jeff's wife, get him a bag with wheels on it.
Yeah,
So
Ingrid,
yes,
you guys can afford it. He's probably got a birthday or Christmas or, I mean, Father's Day or something. Please, for the love of all that's holy, get him a bag with wheels on it.
or the one
We
like
can
the
hear him everywhere he goes in the convention hall.
100%. So you know those bags that like you can like ride? He needs like one of those so he can run around to the different convention booths. By the way, what's really funny is that I could hear Jeff coming from a mile away. Anything I heard was
Yeah.
I would see him, and he'll be going to a table, and watching him. I remember I got so stressed out watching him, Kirkley, and Courtney go through instruction guides. I was just watching them. Oh my God. It like that one booth was chaotic. Like,
Hardcore.
I can't explain it. It looked like I was telling people I told sorry, not people, but I told Melissa, I was like, it looked like people were throwing instructions in the air and like digging around. So it was like crazy. That whole booth was crazy. Like, I don't know where they got their stuff, but they were like super cheap, and everyone attacked them. Every single person attacked them. It was crazy. But want to give a shout out to Duff. Rest in peace, Duff. We're gonna get one with wheels.
Yeah, Duff's a real hero. That guy, his ass had to be on fire. So much friction from the floor. I mean, I'm surprised that thing wasn't smoking by the end of the weekend.
So I also have one more thing to say about this bag. I also was thinking hilariously, like, what if he went on the plane with that thing, like just dragging that damn bag down the aisle?
Yeah, okay. That actually brings up a fair question. Does Geske go through the airport like like everyone else has like these modern bags with like swivel wheels? Does he drag his bags through the airport terminal?
And dude, I literally like the picture I took of him like going at like I have a picture of him negotiating with a book bag. Why do you have a book bag and a duffel bag? I don't understand that. Why do you have two? The duffel bag is literally big enough to be three of your bags. So why do you need that? You can literally just carry that on your shoulder and just go to business. I don't understand it. The book bag is completely unnecessary.
Maybe it's
Oh,
got
it made me
snacks.
laugh.
It's got snacks.
No way. It does not have snacks.
It might have had the pretzel from the night before.
By the way, also another shout out to Jeff that he was ordering like 100 pretzels like at this place. Oh my god.
No. It was Kirkley that like had a pretzel and wings and the meat sampler and
So you mean the entire left menu? He had literally the entire
he
left
had
menu.
food. He had food for the whole weekend. You know,
Oh
like
my
in his
god.
defense, and he was working on that pretzel like for a couple days.
What I respect him about the most about this pretzel thing was that he was just doing it to be a dick to Jeff. He was like, "I'm going to finish this. You're not going to get this joke."
Oh, he was
over on me."
dedicated. He was dedicated, man. Like
That last day
hats
when
off.
when
Hats
you were
off.
sleeping and I was watching him eat this thing, I was like, dude, I would not eat that. Like that thing's been sitting there for a couple of days. I even put it in his suitcase and try to make him take it home with him. So
Yeah, the
terrible.
pretzels were like this big, man, like bigger than your head.
So imagine a small, or no, excuse me, imagine a medium pizza size box, and that's how big the pretzel was.
Yeah, filling that thing, and a thick boy.
Yeah, especially that great picture I took of him in that nice that pretzel hole that he was taking a picture with. That
Yeah,
was also a risque picture with Jeff, but
yeah.
I'm glad it was fun. It was super fun.
So before we get to Uncle Chris, let's let's talk about premium editions dinner at the steakhouse.
Are we allowed to talk about that?
Yeah, of course.
Oh my
Why
god.
not?
Okay. I didn't know.
So
Can I start it off real quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
So Abara texts me and says, "Hey, we're gonna hang out with Premium Edition." So I'm like, "Okay." So me and Kirkley, our feet are hurting, so we were just talking about like life stuff, and we're just like, "All right, let's go
Up in the
downstairs."
room. Up in the room.
Yeah, we were
Yeah.
just talking about like life stuff, like about our families and all kinds of funny stuff. Like we were just bullshitting. And so I was like, "Hey, we're gonna go down and see Abara." So that's why I called you and said, "Hey, I'm on my way down." And boy, did I see a train wreck happen. That was the most uncomfortable dinner I've ever been to in my entire life.
You
Holy
saw the
crap.
train wreck. I saw like the arms go down and the sirens going off, and then you guys saw where the car like went through the stop and like got hit by the train. I saw the rest of it like leading up to it.
I wish I could have took a picture of Kirkley's face on how stressed he was watching all of that expensive steak not get touched. He was
Dude.
like, "Oh my god." They
So
had a ball.
yeah, so after it must have been Saturday night. It was Saturday night. Saturday night after the first vendor day, instead of going to dinner with Premium Edition like they wanted me to, I haven't seen my Neo NES friends, and I've never been able to hang out with them at a convention. Something always happens where like I'm not able to, so I took full advantage of that, and I wanted to see these guys. So we went to a Vietnamese place. It was awesome. It was really good. I think I got banh mi or something like that. And it was cheap too. Like, we might have spent like $20 tops each.
I don't know, that big old meat bowl that I had. I think it was like $25.
Was it? Okay.
It was
Yeah,
big.
mine was pretty cheap. I remember, between the drink and just like a Coke or a Pepsi and the banh mi, it was like $20. So anyway, after we get done, we're walking back, and then I get a message from Frank or somebody asking where I am, and that they're going to the Chop House, which is this expensive steakhouse attached to the hotel that we were staying in. And so I'm like, yeah, okay. I mean, like, I already ate, so I'm not gonna eat with you guys, but I'll hang out. So like, we got back to the hotel, and we kind of split up. You guys went up to the room, and I went straight to the Chop House, and I found their group, and I sat down. There was an empty chair. And by that time, like, there were a couple of bottles of wine on the table. And they hadn't even like ordered yet or anything like that, so they hadn't been there that long. But they were already drinking. They had like mixed drinks and wine in front of them, and they're having a good time. So it was not only the premium edition people, but it was also Joe. I can't remember his last name, but Joe that owns Video Games Monthly. Nice guy.
Yep.
Really nice
Yeah,
guy.
really nice guy.
Mm-hmm. And one of his associates, who I don't have such a good impression of him, but whatever. We'll get there.
Yeah, it's so funny. Oh my god, it's so funny.
Yeah, I'll let you tell that part.
That was fucking that was like the highlight of the. That was like I was telling you that was the cherry on top of that whole dinner.
So you know how like at bars they're supposed to like cut customers off whenever they're drinking too much.
Yeah.
Do they not do that at restaurants? I mean, I really haven't been
should.
at many restaurants where like people are drinking in that much excess.
Well, Scott said to them like, "Hey, sorry we're being so crazy," and she was like, "You're not the craziest people that we've seen here before, so it's totally okay." Like, so I was like, "Wow." Usually they have a cutoff for anybody, like especially like if they're so inebriated they can't even control themselves. That's usually like all right. Like especially like when I worked at a metal bar, like if we saw anyone stumbling, it's like all right, it's time to go.
Yeah, and so as to not embarrass anyone, I'm not going to name names. I'm not going to say who did what.
Yep.
I'm just going to say what happened at the table. So we had a myriad, like a cornucopia of drunks, like
Ooh. A world tour, if you will.
yes, a world tour, the rainbow of drunks. So we had a happy drunk, we had a that you can guess who these people are, but I'm not going to say their names. We had a loud drunk, we had a quiet drunk, we had a hiccuping, giggling drunk, and we had a passed out drunk.
Yep.
And I guess you could say an angry drunk, because he really wanted those mashed potatoes back, apparently. And was really rude about it.
So okay, on his caveat, he did not know someone took his mashed potatoes. Okay, let me just fill you in on the what happened. So
but he
what
didn't
happened
apologize either.
I know, but like what happened was he turned his back. He was doing something else, talking to somebody, whatever. She like ninja moved in and took the potatoes, and when she was walking away, he was like, "Hey, who the f stole my effing potatoes?" Like really loud, and she got super scared and like came back and dropped him off. And then we had a what is it, like a kitchen show going on. I'm not gonna say who it was, but they were like, "Oh, these potatoes were made by so and so, and these were blended, and these were this, and da, da, da." So it's just like, what the hell is going on?
Yeah, like a taste test, like a gourmand taste test. Yeah.
And
Like
it was just like super funny.
like a judge on an episode of Chopped.
Poor Bar over here got the highlight of the night, and I thought that he was going to literally lose his mind, but luckily he finished very well.
I was enjoying myself, and just like normally whenever I'm around like a lot of shenanigans like that, I'm pretty stressed out. But luckily I've got my friend here, clonazepam. Good stuff. And I definitely took one of those before sitting down with these individuals. So I had that in my corner. Thank goodness. But yeah, I was sitting next to the giggling and hiccuping drunk, and they didn't have the depth perception that you need to pick up a piece or a glass of water so well.
Not technically. There was no grip. It was sideways. There was no.
Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah, it was more side to side than like depth perception. So like they were trying to grab it, and they instead like knocked it over, a full glass of ice water on my pants, right on my crotch. Pretty cold. But I just stood there because I mean, like, the entire time I'm like, yeah, someone's gonna spill something at some point. I hope it's just water, and it was just water. If it were alcohol, I might have been more upset. But just having water spilled on my jeans, and we're in a we're in the hotel, we're attached to the hotel, so it's not that big a deal. It's not like I have to walk through Milwaukee, looking like I pissed myself.
So when this person knocked over the drink, I literally, in my head, all I saw was a firework being lit. That's what I was thinking. Dude, Kirkley's face was priceless. Kirkley goes, "Oh shit." Like, he just had this "oh shit" face. And I was like, and I thought the same thing too. I thought you were gonna jump up and be like, "You motherfuckers."
No, no,
And
no, no.
it didn't
Like
happen
I
with
said,
I was like, "You're a saint."
under normal circumstances, I might have had a slight reaction to that. Like, honestly, I don't see myself getting pissed off over someone doing that because it's an honest mistake. And yeah, whatever, they're drunk. But at the same time, like, I had no reaction. Like, there was no fuse being lit. There was nothing. I didn't go from like 0 to even 1. I was just at 0 the whole time. Just like, well, that just happened.
After the dinner, the dude in the elevator was like, "That was so funny." He was like, "It looks like you pissed yourself."
Like, yep,
He's
sure
like, "Yep,
does.
sure does." That's just so funny. But
Now, I just want to say quickly about the guy that didn't apologize. That his mashed, he's upset about his mashed potatoes. When she brought it back, he could have made it right in my head by apologizing to the lady, because, like, on the surface, it just looked like him being an asshole, and I think he was being an asshole. And if you're out there and you're an asshole to waitresses and waiters and food service and whatever, anyone in customer service, fuck you. Okay? That's not, like, if you're like that, I have no respect for you.
I won't do it. I won't do it at all. I don't like spit in my food. So
Well,
pretty much
I
I won't ever I will dude, I will not let you take back the food.
it's
I'll be
not
like,
even
"I'm good. I'm
it's
good."
not even that. It's not even that. Like, it's human decency. Like, treat people like human beings. Like, I have some friends that I refuse to go back to like restaurants with because they're like that. It is beyond me how someone can have so little empathy for someone who has a job like that. Like, that's not a glamorous job. It's not an easy job. You have to deal with people all day, all sorts of personalities, and
100%.
then you have someone being an asshole to you on top of it for no fucking reason. Fuck
Nope.
you.
I'm out. I won't do it either. It's too stressful for me. And like, I've been in that scenario. Like, I'll tell you this funny story that happened to me. I worked at a Jack in the Box, right? And back in the 90s, there was two things that everyone wanted. I don't know why. It was never a sourdough burger. It was never a burger
Was it
from Jack in the
tacos?
Box. It was either tacos or the teriyaki chicken bowl.
I didn't even know
So
about that one.
so the teriyaki chicken bowl was like a big thing, like especially with the drunks at night. So one of the nights, this dude had a Mustang, of course. He had his girl in there and stuff like that. And what happened
Six
was
cylinder, I'm
that,
sure.
well, the bowl on the bottom, it was like red hot. And I tried to explain to him, like, you put in the bag, I'm like, it's hot. Like, it's like really hot. And of course and so a funny story with the whole drinking thing, like, people would, like, drunks would come through and I would be like, "Yeah, that's it's gonna be so and so money." And then these dudes would like hand me $100 bills and be like, "Oh no, you're good." And I'm like, "I can't take this. Like, I can't take this.
Oh my
They won't let me
gosh.
do that." Yeah, crazy stuff. So one of the nights, uh it gets like super hot. The guy could not wait to to
Shovel it
get
in his
to it.
face.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
he opened it, but what happened was he dropped it and he like hit his lady. She was wearing a dress and hit her like right on the legs and just steamed her up. And
Oh.
so he blamed me for like basically making it hot. And so, dude, I had to like I was in the drive-through. I had to close the door because he was trying to like bang through the door to come after me. And he like ran around and I was like, "Oh shit, we gotta lock the door." So I had to like jump over the counter and like lock the door. And he was like banging outside. I had to call the cops and stuff. I'm like, "This dumbass fucking spilt teriyaki chicken sauce over his girl's freaking legs and he's blaming me," you know, and dude, it was crazy. And they arrested him. He had like, dude, he was 5 points over the legal limit.
Of course.
So Yeah, like I don't ever do that because I've been through their shoes. It's not fun.
I'm lucky enough, or whatever. I don't know. I've never worked in customer service. Yeah, I think I can say that. I've never worked in customer service, but I mean, like I don't think you have to like be on the other side to have that sort of like self-awareness or whatever, or empathy for somebody else. You just like have some common decency. I mean, seriously, like I can't believe how some people talk to wait staff. I don't
I don't either.
understand. Where does it come
I
from?
don't
I
know.
mean, is it learned from like your parents? Like, were your parents fucking assholes too?
I don't know. It's bad, and I like I said, I don't know if it was his reaction was like I don't know if he thought it was a gag, like
Yeah.
someone took his potatoes from him. Like I don't know, but it was
I
like
don't
a weird.
know. Yeah.
I think it was the timing of it. I think the timing of it was when she walked away, and then he was like, "All right, fuckers, what'd you guys do with my potatoes?"
Yeah, but even so, like he saw who brought it back, and that I saw the look on her face, and like
She was like, "Oh
that
yeah."
was an awkward
She didn't come back.
interaction, and like yeah,
She did not
well,
come back.
I'm
The
glad
other lady came back.
why
She was,
would she?
then like when I
Yeah,
saw
so my impression of that guy, I want nothing to do with him based on that. Like fuck that guy.
the
Maybe that's not who you are, but that's how you came across.
100%. The funniest portion of the ending of the night was the bill. The bill. The bill.
No, we haven't even talked about the passed out drunk yet.
That was during the passed out drunk. If you
Yeah, that was part of it. So
that was part of the whole thing.
the passed out drunk, they luckily like they were able to. So he was the one who ordered most of the appetizers and the wine, and he ordered his own food, which was a filet mignon. And by the time the filet mignon, and man, it took forever for that food to come out. But in their defense, it's really good food, whatever. So by the time the filet mignon comes out, he is passed out, face down on the table, and then they had to like move, like kind of wake him up a little bit, and he's just like out of it. And then they put his meat down, and then like one of the people had to like cut it up for him, and he didn't eat any. He didn't take a bite. He basically used his filet mignon as a pillow.
Yeah, he almost slept in it for 100%.
Yeah, dude.
The most all that wasted steak that I saw in there, I was like, I don't know how this is going on. And then like the funniest thing that Amar did on the night. This is the funniest thing. He was like, the bill came, and Amar's like, I got the $20 for the Pepsis that we had. We'll have a nice day. We're not sitting here doing this because we knew they were up to something. So we're like, nah, we're not doing this. We're going to drop that money down and get the fuck out of there.
Eric had a Pepsi or whatever you had. I had a Pepsi, and Kirkland had a Pepsi, and I'm like, here's $20 for the sodas. Later, guys.
Yeah,
you figure it out.
Here. And I don't even know if he got back to his room. That was like a
if
I had to get out of there.
If he got back to his room without someone putting him on a luggage cart, I would be really surprised because I have no idea how they got him back to his room.
He for sure has the most expensive bill ever. I can't imagine him waking up in the morning like, oh my god, I spent $1,000 at a steakhouse. Like, what is going on?
Yeah, dude. No, I'm not about that life. Sorry. I'm glad I didn't eat with them, and that's a cautionary tale for me in the future, never to eat with them.
I will say it from their side. I mean, it's a very stressful time for them because they're sitting there all day. They're having to sell stuff all day.
Mm-hmm.
They don't get a lot of time to have R&R. So, if they want R&R with that, that's cool.
I don't fault them for that.
Sober. Yeah.
I don't fault them for that at all.
Sober person, I just see it on it's weird because I've been on both sides. Mm-hmm. I used to be the kind of those kind of like, I used to kind of drink like that. But then now I'm sober. I'm like, I don't deal with it no more. I can't do it. So, but I'm glad they had them all. It was no.
I'm enjoy yourself, but
most epic dinner I've ever seen. Most epic dinner I've ever seen in my life.
That was memorable.
100%.
So Uncle
So
Chris,
yes, Uncle Chris. You
the
have to
next
tell about
morning,
Uncle Chris.
yeah. So the day after the convention was over, Eric and I, we slept in a little bit, because this was before we were going to drive home. Well, before we were going to go and pick up your NES Sharp television and
Yes.
then go home. So we went down to the breakfast buffet, which was also attached to the hotel. And
So good.
oh yeah, it was awesome, dude. They had some, it's good food. Some of it reminded me of chow hall food, like the eggs, but I like those eggs, honestly.
Yeah, I'm a fan of those eggs too.
Yeah, me too. I like the whatever those eggs are called. I'm cheap date.
Dude, here's
So
one thing. One thing. Melissa's mom makes the most epic ones of those ever.
yeah,
She adds butter and like a little bit of cheese on them and stuff, and they look just like the ones we saw there at the hotel, and they are the bomb. The
yeah.
bomb.
Actually, I make those too. Like Natalie loves whenever I make scrambled eggs.
So good.
I've got it down to a science. Um, so yeah, we sat down at our table, and then in comes Barry Burton, sits down, and obviously Chris is with him at some point, but he was lagging behind a little bit. But Barry, he sits down and he looks over and he sees us. We make eye contact, and then I point right at him, and because he recognized us from talking to us earlier, but I pointed right at him just to let him know that we know who he is. And he sat up, he got up and walked over to our table, and we had another conversation about how awesome the con was and how much fun he had and how much we appreciate him and all this other stuff. At some point, Joe Granado, NES maker Joe Granado, walked in, and I know that Premium Edition, we were supposed to talk to him at some point, but I don't think Josh ever got to him. But on behalf of Premium Edition, since I'm part of it, I wanted to just say hi, give him my card, and whatever pleasantries, build that relationship. So I said hi to him, and then by the time I got done with that, I was walking back, and then Chris and Barry were walking up to get their food. Chris commented on I was wearing a Giants hat and my Giants jersey, and he's like, "Are you from Northern California?" I'm like, "Yeah," but I'm like, way north of San Francisco. He's like, "Oh yeah, whereabouts?" Like Humboldt County. I always say Humboldt County because if I say Fortuna, California, which is my hometown, no one's ever heard of Fortuna. Maybe people have heard of Eureka, but no one's ever heard of Fortuna if I say Fortuna, California. So I just say Humboldt County because people have heard of that. He's like, "Oh yeah, I'm familiar with Humboldt. My girlfriend's from Fortuna." I'm like, "That's my hometown." Like, what? What the heck? And I don't know if he was feeling me out, like I was just making it up or whatever. But I mentioned a few places in Fortuna just so that he knew that I wasn't lying. And he's like, "How old are you?" I'm like, 42. He's like, "Yeah, well, she's probably a little bit old, or she is a little bit older than that. But maybe you know her. Her name is Julie Cordero." So I'm like, I don't know that name, but I will ask my parents because maybe they know her. They've been in Fortuna longer than I have, and they're still there. So I messaged my family chat on Facebook and ask my parents if they know Julie Cordero, and my mom chimes in a couple hours later. I wish I would have called her at the time, but anyway, a couple hours later, I get a response saying that she knows Julie because she worked with her at the dentist's office that my mom worked at when I was growing up. Like she was a dental assistant, Julie was.
Awesome.
So whenever I had teeth cleanings, Julie might have been assisting, whenever I had my teeth cleaned. So freaking Chris Redfield is dating someone that my mom worked with, which is just crazy.
That's
So I
phenomenal.
reached out on Facebook. I friend requested. His name is Charlie Krislovsky, the guy who played Chris Redfield, Charlie Krislovsky. So I friend requested him, and then wrote him a message, saying that my mom does know her and that they work together, and blah blah blah. but it had been a few days, and he hadn't accepted my friend request or seen the message yet. But my mom reached out to Julie, and Julie did get back to my mom and said, "Wow, small world, whatever. Like, what was your son there for?" So she explained all that, and I told my mom to tell Julie to tell Charlie to accept my friend request and respond to me. So he did. So yeah, it was cool. He got back to me and said, "Small world, probably wouldn't have spoken to you had you not been in Giants gear, so that was lucky." But yeah, just nuts.
Such
So
a
I have
small
a
world.
connection to
So
Chris
funny.
Redfield.
He's your official uncle.
Yeah, he's my uncle now.
Yes.
Uncle
What a
Chris.
cool story. It's awesome.
Small world, man. So weird.
It was such an epic time and so much fun. I know we went long on it, but it was this whole thing was. It keeps topping each time we go there. I can't wait
I
till
know,
next
yeah,
year.
right? Yeah, what's going to happen next MGC?
I have no clue. I'm excited for it though, for sure.
Yeah, dude. Freaking
So
crazy.
I know we were gonna do game suggestions and for the next topic, and so what we'll do is we'll do like a speed round with them, and we'll do our picks for them. So, shout out to John Riggs. He did a cool video about suggesting different games for different consoles, and with Amara being a big console aficionado here, we thought we would give you guys some games to possibly when you're looking while you're looking out, hunting, that you might pick up if you see it. So I thought we would start off with Sega Genesis first.
Okay.
So I'll let you go first, and then I will go behind it.
I've already mentioned this one. I've had you play it on our retrospective, but I need to highlight it once again because a lot of people just don't know that this game is out there. It's a Contra-like game called Midnight Resistance.
I gotta get it.
It was an arcade game, and it's really good.
I've been trying to find it, and I still haven't been able to find it. I went to the con looking for that and couldn't find it.
Yeah, it's weird. It's hard to. I haven't seen it that often.
Mine is I'm gonna go with sports. I know you're gonna laugh at me, but this is my favorite sports game of all time. It's the best. It makes me laugh every time I play it. The levels are insane. The announcers are hilarious.
I think I know what you're gonna say.
It's completely out of control, and that is Mutant League Football.
Yep.
I wish EA would make another one of these. I know they made the remake one with the Kickstarter, but I've never laughed so hard in my life by bribing a ref, and then everyone just goes after the ref and kills them, and then they talk all this stuff. The levels are insane. Like they got like a level that it's like a giant like a bouncy castle and stuff, like crazy stuff. It's so chaotic, and I love the names of everybody. Like they got like Bones Jackson for Bo Jackson and stuff like that. Like it's just really funny. And I just love it. I think it's one of the funnest games ever. I wish I had the cards, but I have everything else for it. But man, if you see this out there, it's not really that expensive. The hockey one's expensive, but the football one's not that expensive. You should definitely check it out or emulate it, whatever you want to do.
Yeah.
Next one's gonna be 360.
360. I swear I'm not just picking games that I made you play on retrospective.
I swear to God.
Based on these two, it seems like it, but Otomedius excellent.
Oh yeah, my pillow.
A lot of people, yeah, your pillow. A lot of people don't know that this queued 'em up exists. So if you see that, pick it up. It's really fun. It's definitely going to be worth something at some point.
Good shooter. I'm gonna go with the classic. This is my favorite Xbox 360 game. I've literally played it like a million times. I'm a horror buff. I think it's a great game. I wish they would remake the damn thing correctly. Come on, Xbox, what's wrong with you? Get this valve going. Left 4 Dead. I love this game.
Absolutely, man. Yeah.
I even like playing it single player. It's chaotic. It's super fun. It's nonstop. I think it's probably one of the best co-op games ever made.
It is,
to be honest with you,
a masterpiece.
Straight masterpiece. This thing is. I was laughing. I was like, look how clean this is. It's like I just bought this thing.
Who would you play as?
The old military guy.
Bill. Yeah, me too. I was Bill.
I just think it's hilarious.
I was
I like
crusty old Bill.
I like his lines. It's hilarious to me.
Yeah.
And it just seems like he's like every Vietnam veteran I've ever met in my life.
Yeah. Yep. Bill resonates with me too.
Such a great guy.
All right, which
next one's
system now?
PS4.
All right, PS4. This is another one that people don't know is out there, but you have to import it because it never came out for the U.S. It was digital only for the U.S., but a physical is out there if you're a fan of the series and you want it physical. What year was this? 2017. They remade Paw Rappa the Rapper.
I can't believe that's out. It's crazy.
And it's on
that
PS4.
Too.
Yeah.
So wild.
Mm-hmm.
It's a rhythm game basically. You hit the certain buttons and he dances and all that stuff. It's
Yeah,
really,
he
really
raps to
awesome.
the music or whatever, and then like if you fail or you excel at the stuff, it's very unique.
This one, I've told you a million times, it's awesome. The arcade crew makes it. They're the ones that made the Blazing Chrome game,
Mm-hmm.
and they made a Castlevania, Metroidvania, and it's called Infernax. Now, Limited Run did a release on this.
Yeah, you
but
told
there
me
is
about
a
that.
PAL version that's cheaper. They actually use the Contra code. You could actually play as like a Contra guy in a Castlevania game, which is hilarious.
That's awesome.
This game is out of control. Everything on it is awesome. But what's cool is it has like a choose your own adventure. You can pick like to slay someone or fate, and it changes the story while you play it.
Mm-hmm.
I sad I missed the limited run release of this because they did a Capcom version collector's edition for it. And so if you see this out there, definitely pick this up.
Awesome.
Next one is going to be Switch.
You know how I love my twin stick shooters. And the Switch, for some reason, is just rich with them this generation. Binding of Isaac, Enter the Gungeon. This one is lesser known. It's called Helmut, the Badass from Hell.
Yes, that game's awesome.
Yeah, it is. It's really fun. It's hard to master. It's easy to play, but hard to master.
Yeah,
one of those kinds
100%.
of games.
I feel like Enter the Gungeon's like that too.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. That's a really tough one to get good at.
You'll be proud of me. I picked a shooter. I picked a shooter.
Oh, is it not? I think I know.
I know what shooter you're thinking of, but I love this game on the Super Nintendo, and this is Pocky and Rocky Reshrined.
Yeah, that's not what I was thinking.
Super cheap. It's a shooter. I'm just saying.
Okay.
This game is so damn difficult, but so damn fun. It's got this overtop cartoony kind of feel to it. The characters in it are just ridiculous, and this game is pretty much like $10 on Amazon right now. So I wanted to give a good budget title as well. Switch has so many great remasters and reimaginings, and this one is not really a remaster of the original game. It's kind of like a reimagining of them. Really good. I would definitely pick this up if you see it.
So which one did you think I was going to say? Which one did you think I was?
H-Town Plus.
Yeah, that's exactly what I thought you were going to say.
I love that game too.
So finally we have Super Nintendo. This game is on several platforms. This might not be the best system to play it on, but it's just endless entertainment, man. Like, to me, and I love this game. Pinball Fantasies.
Great game.
Yeah, great game. Very simple, easy to play, and there are 4 tables, and they're it's so much fun. It's really fun. The physics are good. The layout's good. The themes are good. Music is good. It's good.
So I decided to go outside the box for Super Nintendo. Now, was this a Super Nintendo release? No. Was it on the Super Nintendo? Yes. So the game I chose, and I think I wish they would have just made this with Super Mario All-Stars came out. They did like a remastering of Mario, but they did also do a remastering of the original Zelda. There was a broadcast satellite that was on the Famicom,
Mm-hmm.
and they had this cool thing. And it's great for me because as being a dad, I only get a limited amount of time, so you have these different chapters that you play, and they're hours a piece, and you have to kind of like get through the level in a certain amount of time. And it's not bullshit Zelda; it's broadcast satellite Zelda. Now, this is a Fishy Fish Games release of the game. This is what they call the third quest. Uh, they had this was released in Japan over a certain amount of time. They actually had people that actually did the audio cues in the game as the characters while you played, and the highest score won like a prize.
Mm-hmm.
And so each week you would get a chapter of the game and you would have to beat it. But what's cool about this, it's the original Zelda, but it's remastered like Super Mario Brothers All Stars.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, with Super Nintendo's 16-bit graphics,
and it's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
I know that a lot of people make homebrews of these at conventions. If you do see it, I would definitely grab it. It's an interesting piece of history. They also have Ancient Stone tablets for Link to the Past. It's like a DLC for Link to the Past.
Mm-hmm.
But these broadcast satellite games, which is really cool, there's people in the community that basically get the files, download them, so we're able to still play them. Like they're working on like F-Zero right now currently.
Yeah.
And it's just a really cool kind of thing that we never got. But if you get a chance to see them, I would definitely grab them.
Yeah. Yep. Good picks.
You guys some good picks too, sir. Well, thank you guys. Please like and subscribe to us on YouTube, Facebook, and Spotify. If you want to see our pickups, it's exclusively on YouTube. Also, please like to the Video Game Collectors Field Guide on Facebook. It supports him. He has a little like counter right behind you, and he likes to see that thing go off. So please support him as much as you can. You can follow me on GI Gamer 1981 on Instagram and Facebook. I'm adding more videos. This week I did a one on Nintendo Power that's very expensive for no apparent reason, and you'll have to watch the video for that. I also did a live stream of all my pickups from Midwest Gaming Convention and over the last 6 months, since I haven't done a big pickups video in a while. And I also did one on the Sharp TV. We just got back from Chicago, and I want to thank you again for that, because that was a pretty cool thing you did for me with working that deal out, and I give him all the shout outs for it, because that TV is super hard to bring back to life. It was a farm fresh TV.
Yeah, they did an amazing job.
They killed it. I love it. It works great, and it just makes my day when I play it. Also, like I said, please subscribe to us. We will always announce our shows. This is done on a weekly basis, so we definitely appreciate you guys. And remember to collect and open play your games. If you don't do that, then you are not really a collector. You're just a wall stain, basically. So have a good week. See you guys next week. Later.
Be nice to your wait staff. Later, guys.
Yeah. Tip, dicks.